YouTube, Siegfried Lane here with another Final Fantasy XIV drama video is what I'm going to call it. This is going to be kind of a two-parter. I want to kind of follow up on one thing with the whole incident with Asmongold in his last two streams, and kind of hit on something else. It's kind of a personal opinion of my own. Let's go and start at the beginning, man. I had a really strong feeling, honestly, that the crap that was going on when Asmongold was streaming were really... I had a feeling bans were going to be coming. Because it was very obvious at the end of the stream that it wasn't just a fan base, you know, trying to show off the mounts. Like, it would have been one thing, man, if they're like, oh, hey, dude, we saw you like these mounts, here are these mounts. This obviously was not that, and I'm not gonna lie, man, I personally am really happy that they actually came through and started banning people. I think that, you know, they should have been banned. And again, like, I'm not a big fan of Asmongold. I really am not. I'm not this huge person who follows him. In fact, the first time I saw his videos, I thought he was a complete asshole, to be perfectly honest. And, you know, I mean, I thought he was another one of those jackasses, WoW fanboys that just anything that wasn't WoW was shit to them. And you know, honestly, the fact that in the whole weeb term, man, I hate the weeb term. I really personally hate the weeb term. I think that's stupid, especially when used on a Japanese game that's Japanese. Like, come the fuck on, man. But I did watch him carefully, though, and actually take more time to watch him and see what was going on and kind of get to know him better. And as I've noticed, you know, he has been willing to admit some things looked good. He also complained about things in WoW. He's a normal person, and he always, in the end, did, you know, kind of keep things as his opinion. Did he breed toxicity against the game and his community? Yeah, I think he did. But the fact is, in the end, he decided to come over and give the game a try, which is all he had to do. All you had to do, give the game a try. And he is. And I knew if he gave the game a try, there would be aspects he really enjoyed. I didn't think he would enjoy it as much as he seems to be enjoying it now. And I personally am not worried about his community coming in and bringing in a lot of toxicity, because unlike WoW, you know, it's a lot different to do Savage raiding. While some people use Party Finder for Savage raiding, for the most part it is in statics. The big issue with WoW is that everything has to be via the Party Finder, really, unless you have a group. So I am glad that these people are getting banned. These are obviously Final Fantasy XIV vets. These are not his fan base. These are not WoW players wanting him to go back to WoW. These are the Final Fantasy XIV players who have been trapped in their little bubble and like to sit back and tell everyone how, you know, who... I'm not gonna lie, these are the toxic players. These are the players that we have that are toxic, that I've dealt with in game. People that rescue me into a landslide and then tell me how crap I am because I died on Titan. Yeah, you rescued me into a landslide right when it went off. These are those kinds of players. They're level 80, they have the mounts, and for some reason they think that this game belongs to them. And, you know, if you're just on the sideline, you're like, well, okay, well, they only went after Asmongold. Dude, no, they don't, man. They go after anybody, because in their eyes, this game belongs to them. And that is the most annoying mindset in the world. Now, I'm along with everyone else. I don't want a bunch of toxic players coming in, and if people come in and are toxic, I really hope they get banned immediately. I don't want people coming in and turning the game into how WoW felt for me when I tried to play WoW by myself. And I don't think that's going to happen, because there's a big difference between WoW and 14, is that 14 is very proactive in protecting it. So much that people complain about the TOS, and personally, I'm a fan of the TOS. I think it's fine. It's very easy to see when you're grieving somebody. It's very easy to know when you're grieving somebody. When you're like, it's not hard to see. And the people who have an issue with the terms of service are people who want to grieve, but then say that they're not grieving. And my kind of thing toward my comment towards you guys is fuck you. Don't ruin the game for other people. Nothing. I mean, you're not going to get banned for using an emote in a raid, especially if it's if it's the team can go back and see, and if they see that you're using like a provoke emote or you're using an actual emote to communicate the battle and what you're doing when it can matter, that's different. Especially if you have a provoke emote naturally on your, for raiding. So, if you think, the people who sit there and say the terms of service is so vague and get suspended for anything, no, that's bullshit. You can get suspended when you're doing things on purpose to be annoying. And I'm more than certain that if you got, like, say, for example, reported for spamming an emote tied to your provoke, the team is going to go see your provoke and be like, okay, no, it's tied to the provoke. Or they're going to communicate you with that case. They're going to contact you, okay, what's going on with this? And you can tell them, oh, it's tied to my provoke. It's how, for rating. You're not going to get suspended for it. These people do not need to be defended. What they did is undefendable, unjustifiable, and to be perfectly honest, has left a stain on the Final Fantasy XIV community. It is a stain that will never go away. Because 200,000 people saw it. And 200,000 people is a lot of people to see this bullshit. And that was just the people who saw it in the beginning. That's not how many have seen it now. So these assholes, man, I want them gone. Personally, I want them permanently banned. I hope all of them get permanently banned. If they were there for the whole 6 hours-ish, 4 to 6 hours, surrounding him for that entire time, I hope every single one of those players that was there for over 2 hours gets permabanned. And they're gone. Because, guys, we don't need those players. We don't need the passive-aggressive toxicity. And we need to make it, and I'm really glad they gave them the 9-day ban, and I really hope they make it clear to them, and makes it clear to the entire community, that this kind of shit won't be tolerated. And I don't care if you think that, well, that's a bit harsh. No, man, we're all grown-ups. We are all adults. And if as an adult, you cannot make an adult decision, then piss off. And if you're a teenager, if you're old enough to play this game, and you still can't make that decision to be smart about it, well, then you shouldn't be playing this game. Okay? You signed an agreement, you can't follow the agreement, you shouldn't play the game. And personally, I feel bad for no one who gets banned by being an asshole. I myself have been banned for 3 days. I got the 30-day ban back in Realm Reborn. Now, I don't know if that ban stays permanently. I mean, I doubt it does. I'm pretty sure after 8 years of no issues, I don't think it's going to stick on me. I think a lot of people don't understand how that works. I mean, it simply says all actions are permanently recorded on the Surface account. Pretty much what that says is that, if it doesn't say, like, it's going to be 3 strikes, you're out. And I really don't believe that's how they're going to work on this. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I mean, on this part, if you got banned for being a dick, good. Stay the hell out. Personally, we don't want you. Go to WoW. Go take your toxicity over there and then be a dick over there. Because they'll bite. They'll go back at you, man. They're not gonna sit there and let your passive aggressive bullshit last either. On a separate note, I kind of want to talk about a YouTuber that I've been watching for a long time. And I started watching him back, and I think in Heavensward. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've got some personal concerns. Now, again, before I bring this person up, these are my own opinions, my own concerns. As a person, I like him. And this is not to trash on him at all, because as a person, I like him. But there's some things that I've been watching and some changes, and that's kind of what I want to get onto. And today I want to kind of talk about Chris from Gaming Kinda. Again, I'm not going to blast this guy because I like this guy. I think he's honestly a nice person. But over the last few years, I mean, honestly, I don't think over the last few years, over the last pandemic, I have just seen him change so much. I mean, just negative, and not only negative, but like very ignorant in certain things he talks about. Um, and my main concern is like he's not like this really unworked in game that much, but it seems on his private channel he's become very, very just. I don't know. Every time I watch him, lately, every time I watch him, I just, I just can't agree with almost any video. Like the last video I agreed with, and I will be honest, there was one video he was 100% right on, and that was the gatekeeping one. Now, um, I get the reason he went about it the way he went about it, but there's one thing I've noticed about him. He's not. He, a lot of his later videos seems to be him going on without actually, I don't know, making a script, which is not really that good, especially when want to talk about serious things. I'm trying to find the one that was the gatekeeping. Where's the gatekeeping one? It's not this one. Where's the gatekeeping? Did he take it down actually? Could have taken it down. He has to have it somewhere. I think he took it. I think he took it down actually. I don't see it here anymore. I think it would have been before here. Let me go down and see if it's down here. Maybe it's further down, and that's just why I'm not seeing it. Okay, no, here it is. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Now, this one, when I first watched it, I'm gonna be honest. He doesn't word himself very well, and he needs to work. Personally, I mean, I'm not the best at it either, and I'm not gonna say I am, but he needs to work better on wording himself because a lot of the time when he words himself, he comes off. I'm gonna be honest, straight up, extremely ignorant. For example, in this one, I mean, I 100% agree with him that, you know, Final Fantasy 14 players do not need to gatekeep. The crap that happened when Asmongold logged in for the first 2 days was bullshit. That should not happen. But the way he words it in the video, which through some conversation was clarified, was pretty much that, well, we just got to take whatever. Let them bring, when they bring in their toxicity, just pretty much take it. Which, there are several points he should have pointed out there because, to be honest, I totally disagree with the idea that if someone brings toxicity in the game, we're just supposed to sit there and say, oh, well, we're the nice people, we're going to take it. No. If someone brings toxicity in the game, they can fuck off. I don't care if they're from WoW. I don't care if they're playing Final Fantasy 4, if they're from the original Final Fantasy 14. And some clarification was done when we were conversation. I did agree with him. Yeah, I mean, you're probably not going to see too much of them at the end game. But the fact is, I don't think he realizes that while the gatekeeping is 100% accurate, and he's really what he is saying is 100% accurate. That in a better way to put it would be, we don't need to be toxic first. Don't be toxic just because you're afraid of toxicity. Just give them a chance. Give everybody a chance, and if they bring that toxicity in, that's when you handle it. But, he didn't in this video, and I still disagree with the point he came with this video. Pretty much, we're the nice people. We're supposed to just bend over and take it, and I'm totally against that. 100% against that. The last one I watched of him was, where is it at? Well, there's this one right here, but I'll get that one later. Was it this one? I think it was this one. And, he makes a comment that I really disagree with. And that is that pretty much banning people doesn't solve the problem of certain issues. And one thing he brings up is things like racism and bigotry. Now, I personally take that offense, and if somebody can honestly say that racism is not a bountiful offense, or like we need to find a better way to handle it. They most likely don't have any other race in their family and have never experienced racism in their life. Um, I am Caucasian, but my I grew up with a half Hispanic, half Caucasian family, and I dealt with racism on both sides. You know, my wife and kids are Japanese. Dude, I take anything that is racist against Japanese, I take personal because my kids are Japanese. They're half. Same thing if anything taken about them being half breds comes. That's because in Japan there's more purebreds. Yeah, I'm gonna take that offensive, and I'm gonna be there. And I don't think that in a game any form of bigotry should be allowed. And one issue I've had with them lately is that if you look at the comments on this video, and I'm not going to play the video, I'm going to go and look at the comments real quick. I don't want to play this video, just going to look at the comments. Like if you look at somebody's comments, you see it's all about, everyone's pretty much telling him, dude, you're wrong, dude, you're wrong, dude, you're wrong. And the reply he replies is never about the racism. It's about something completely different. And so when he replies, he seems to not at all message anything about the points that people make. You know, he just, and it's obviously he misspoke, and not once did he ever reply back, correcting that. And this is this is an issue I've had with him lately, and kind of my big thing. And I did subscribe because I didn't want to be somebody that hates on him, and I wanted to subscribe to kind of give him that support. But it really bothers me that he makes these comments and doesn't seem to understand at all what he is saying. Racism, bigotry. Well, you shouldn't just ban them. We got to find another way to deal with them. No. If you're a racist or a bigot, you can fuck off, man. I'm not talking about him personally, but racists and bigots, they can fuck off. I ain't got no time for that shit, and I don't want that shit in my game. I don't want to be playing my game and having somebody running around with a name that's highly offensive and racist to somebody else. And if there's one thing I'll say about Asmongold is I was watching a clip. He saw somebody with a racist name, and he had everybody report that name to get the guy banned. Which, honestly, as toxic as Asmongold might seem, kind of shows a big difference between him and Chris. He seems to understand racism, and that racism does not belong in the games, and Chris doesn't seem to understand that. This is the one that I've decided why I want to make this video. This is the second video I've watched of him in a row where, again, we'll look at the comments. We're going to ignore just ignore the video and look at the comments. And again, you're going to see the comments just overly negative, and like right here. They tell that there should be guy who enjoys error. Let me rain in my parade because I'm salty and think everyone should hate 2.0. I mean, this is like, somebody made a video about how they enjoyed 2.0, and he had to make a negative video about it, which is stupid. And on top of that, there's something here, and one thing I've been noticing about Chris lately is, I don't know, something is going on. I don't know what's going on, man, but I really think I can't say something. I think something is going on. Because the guy he was years ago was somebody who was really fun, really positive, somebody I wanted to watch, and he's just become negative. And I want to see if I can find the comment. There's a comment here he makes. Is it this one? I know there's one. I want to try and find the one. And the fact is, I really don't enjoy. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is great. Okay, right here, right here. See, This part right here. Had this instead been a collab directly with Quasi, where got to ask him questions and he said these things, I simply offered a counterpoint. I think I'd be better at it because he talks about pretty much had this been a counter up where he could actually have the conversation, right? I'm gonna read this. I'll read this paragraph. Had this been a collab directly between Quasi, where I got to ask him questions, when he had said these things, I simply offered a counterpoint. I think I'd be better at it, because conversation with another person is something I have more practice with. What fails to sometimes come across when I'm already making the video too long, as is the less direct response to one part of the video, where afterward I'd like to say overall feelings. In this case, looking at other videos, especially his style of content is wonderful. Okay. But right here he says, had he been able to talk with him, it would have been better, as he's better at conversations. I want to keep that in point. And this is 16 hours ago, or 17 hours ago. We're going to scroll down. Because Quasi actually comments. I'm going to find his comment. Because when I read that, and then it really upset me, you know, and then right here, okay, here. Quasi, dude, I gotta say, 13 hours ago, this guy's been so polite. Remember, thanks for the shout out and the support for this from this community. Honestly, this journey will not be half as bad as great as that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here. I think there's an interesting discussion points raised in this video. Would love to respond to them line by line in a separate video. Appreciate the discussion. Thank you, Final Fight Sports Community. So here he offers to have a communication with Gaming Kinda. And the reply says is, every point I counter with yours has been countered by you simply being further in the game with this video is already behind you. You being in Heavens already gives you more context. Here's keep it. It doesn't matter if he's in Heavens Word already. He said, I would love to have a conversation. That doesn't change his opinion. And the fact is, it really irritates me that above 17 hours ago he said it had been a conversation, it would have been better, and now he pretty much refuses to have the conversation. I think this kind of is what I mean. Like, when I first started watching this guy, he was a really fun guy to watch, and at this point in time, I don't know what's going on, man, but there is just a lot of negativity, and I think Work to Game is going to end up suffering from it. We have a lot of new, to be perfectly honest, more popular content creators coming in. Professional content creators. And Asmongold, Bellier Gaming, these are, like, Asmongold at 200,000 people. We're talking real heavyweights coming in. This community could very likely, and this might terrify some people, but it's also good, could very likely be taken over by the WoW professional streamers, which I'm fine with. Because one thing I've noticed is they're all coming in and liking, hey, I love this piece. I love not having the drama. And, you know, I mean, and if you watch these videos, I mean, things like right here, this is kind of the exact honest, this is how people, you know, like, this is just such a negative video, and I don't know why Chris had to be perfectly honest, had to shit all over it. And the fact is, honestly, my opinion, I think Chris needs to take a break from YouTube, personally. His videos have been bad. His videos have been negative. His videos have been so ignorant. Like, let's take a look at the dislike quality here. Like, look at that. Look at how many dislikes he has in this video. That's a lot. And let's look at the other one. The bans. Let's look at the dislikes on this one. Not as many, but honestly, not as many likes. For 2,500 people watching, not as many likes. And perfectly honest, I should dislike this too, to be honest, because he never actually went back and communicated better things. Now, I haven't watched much more of his videos because, to be perfectly honest, I can't stomach him. And this is somebody I used to like, and like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if maybe it's the fact that WoW is dying and it upsets him that WoW is not succeeding. But hopefully, hopefully, whatever is going on, hopefully he overcomes it. The weird thing I think is the fact that, I mean, of all the strippers coming over, Quasi is not the biggest. He really isn't. I really like him. I think he's a blast. I'm really enjoying him, and I really love. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I see a WoW player come over and just love this game, it makes me feel so much better. I mean, like all these big WoW players coming over that are liking the game, it's just great. I mean, it's just amazing. And so I really hope he can figure it out. What is Work to Games actual numbers? I wonder. But I think, honestly, right now, Brian is the one keeping this one going. Brian, honestly, is the positive person right now. And I don't know what's going to happen because the fact that Brian is the more positive person. I like watching Brian. I really do. I think he's a very enjoyable person to watch. I think he. Let's see. Check. We're gonna check real quick. Check his. I want to see how many subscribers he has. I mean, let's check his. Like, yeah, dude. Look. Okay. I think we are okay. You can definitely see. Like, look at these subscribers. He has almost 40,000 subscribers, and I really think that Chris has lost subscribers. The fact is, I don't know what's going to happen, but I really have a strong feeling. I don't know if there's friction going on between those two, but I can honestly tell you that if I was currently in the situation, there would be a lot of friction going on, because you just got two completely different personalities. I mean, two completely different personalities. Oh, here you go. And so, I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But looking at his videos, a lot of people are getting unhappy with Chris, and with all the new streamers coming in, all the new content creators coming from in more than just WoW. This guy's coming from Guild of Wars 2. From Guild of Wars 2, we have this guy coming from WoW. We have who else? We have a lot. But with that said, guys, oh, this guy too. This guy's pretty good. I like this guy. With that said, guys, I'm gonna leave it here. Hopefully, whatever's going on with Chris will fix itself. But I think 14 is gonna be in a good spot. The toxic people are gonna go, and it's gonna get more positive. With that said, Siegfried Jelaine signing out.